call to order the meeting. 3 items we're going to add in new business. We're going to vote on the Vermont Alert System approval, the local emergency management plan approval that was given to us by Rich, and spending at $300 on some software for the cemetery commission that will align with the other software we use. So you know, see, that's problems. You're part of the rep now, so we'll get to those down in new business. All right, so minutes from April 17th. Has everybody read them?
I move we approve the minutes of April 17th.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on those? Is everybody happy?
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes of April 17th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? All right, it passes. We're going to approve 2 warrants. Warrant 22, which is the general purpose fund, as I call it. It's for about $25,500. There's some ARPA money. The community center that was in there is $2,500, and then the other big ticket items, as they always are the health insurance and withholdings from pay, which falls in there as opposed to the payroll. So the total is $25,000, and then 22P is the payroll. Pretty much the same numbers as always, every 2 weeks. Nothing new that I saw in there.
I'll make a motion that we approve payments of warrants 22 and 22P.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? I would have held my discussion until the discussion point. All right, all in favor of approving warrants 22 and 22P?
Aye.
Any against? All right. ARPA funding. The IRS reporting is completed and submitted.
Mm-hmm.
Solid information.
And I did email some of the committees to get the status as to where they are on some of their projects, but the only one I've heard from is the community center, and they're gonna, try to wrap things up. So
Sounds good, thanks. Visitors and public comment? Doug, you want to say anything? All right. Carry on over there. Road foreman's report. Lee, what do you got for us that you want to talk about?
Okay. Well, we got the bids for the tractor came in.
We did.
So
This,
There's 2 of them. I think there's one inside the folder bit. Yep. Lee?
and so it's,
let's start with those.
Yeah, let's
all right,
get those
you want me
done.
to open one and someone else open another?
And if you've been appointed the accounting firm.
Alright, so this is United Ag and Turf out of Springfield, Vermont.
And this is for the
The tractor, the mowing tractor.
mowing tractor, right? That's on our capital fund for next year, right?
Yes.
and what are they giving a
So,
bid for?
so it is a John Deere 5075E cab tractor. It's 75 horse. It does have a loader with forks. That is something different. We're going to use it for whenever you plank the bridge, bringing in all the planks, and we're talking storms mostly. Just another avenue of opening our roads up, and you make back about half of it on the trade when you trade it back in, or that's what they're saying.
It's a 4-wheel drive.
Yes.
Does it have a skidder front end?
It
Quick
has.
connect. Skidder, quick connect.
Yep. It'll have a quick connect between the bucket and the forks.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to ask that question. If I have to with these people here.
Okay, so I want to get this right. It's $73,239.90.
73,000, how much?
$73,239.90. And
So 2024?
oh man,
give me an old 2023 and save me a couple $1,000.
Does not say.
All right.
There are a lot leftovers.
It does not say.
Fortunately, I don't pull the leftover until summer.
13,000 for the trade. That's what they're giving us.
That's on ours.
Yes.
So it's 73 less the 13.
Yes.
Do you think you would recommend doing that, or would you try to sell the
As
Kubota?
this one here, I would sell it outright.
Sell the Kubota outright?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Talking with a dealer, they were saying 15. You should be able to get like he called it a cash price. I was going to try for 22 and maybe, not that we're on TV, but go down, have a little bit, we can go down.
Right.
You know, if we get an offer.
Yeah.
So you're going to sell the Kubota then instead of trading.
So far with this one here.
Okay.
You'd get a much better deal trading, not trading it,
Selling
then selling it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
at 13,000, I think we can definitely.
So, Lee, do you use chains on that, or do you not use it in the winter?
We don't use it in the winter.
$85.
Really. I just assume keep the salt away from it.
Right.
As much as possible. Not that we wouldn't in a big storm if,
60.
if if we had to. Okay. Can you see on there if that is, my information is correct? Just so I have somebody double check it. Yeah, it's on,
And we have the second
the
bid.
second bid right here. Yeah, I forgot to put it on the agenda for opening them last week.
Yep.
So that's why we're opening and possibly awarding it, depending on how it goes, this week. So usually I try to take 2 weeks to look at them, and but I think it's pretty straightforward. But if there is any big questions, we can always put it off for another couple weeks. Okay, so this is James R. Rosinski and Sons out of New Hampshire, over by the seacoast. So the tractor is $71,918.
Is it the same model?
Yes, yeah, the same everything.
So did you put out a bid, request for bids for that particular
Yes,
tractor?
yeah.
Okay.
I went over with the dealers, everything that they thought we needed, everything I thought we needed. Came up with that bid.
Hmm.
And then everyone would be bidding the same thing.
Yeah. So you've only been looking at John Deere?
Yes.
Not Kubota.
Right. We did do a price on the Kubota on repairs, and it was in that 17 range, 17,000. And the DEF system, they hadn't changed it. And the rear lift arms weren't quite heavy enough on them. So we had some major repairs there. And they hadn't changed that either. So, not that it was a good tractor, it was just maybe a little light or something for the more. So did I finish that price, Maria?
No.
All right, $71,918.69. 10,000 for the trade. So the total on this one was $61,918.69.
And does that include the same, like the forks as
Yep.
well as the bucket?
Yep.
When you buy a tractor, do you have to register it just like a car where you have to pay the sales tax?
No, town does not.
So we wouldn't pay sales tax if we bought
Right.
it.
This would be the price.
Okay.
Right, on any of the equipment, we don't pay.
I mean,
for
the
registered-
Springfield one would have to pay 6% sales tax.
No,
No.
not as a municipality.
No, we
I
don't.
didn't know that. Okay.
Right, even for dump trucks and anything, we register
Okay,
it.
all right. I didn't know that.
Why did you look at John Deere instead of an M-Series Kubota?
Where did I look?
No, I mean, did you look at the M-Series
Oh, yes.
Kubota?
Yeah, up at Peniel View.
Okay,
Yes, they have the M6060 is what we have.
okay.
And then they have, I think it's a 6070 would be the 70 horse Kubota.
Right.
Right, and for those, yeah, they didn't change the DEF system at all. The
That's a
after
pollution control.
Yeah, pollution, it burns off the diesel fuel particularly.
Right, almost all tractors.
Yeah, they all do. Over 25 horse, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, but yes. So that's kind of iffy on how it's getting worse on ours, the one we have, put it that way. The lift arms in the back, they weren't quite heavy enough, and it stayed the same between the 60 horse and the 70 horse on Kubota. It stayed the same. And I'm not going to guarantee we're not going to have an issue with the John Deere lift arms
There's no
either.
quick connect for the rear,
No,
for the 3-point.
no. They have telescoping arms on them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with
Yeah.
those. All right, okay, all right, yeah. So, right, no, I've never used the quick connect,
Okay.
the rear.
But it just makes it a lot faster to disconnect.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I just never tried it. And with the mower, of course, that's so heavy that you want to keep it as close to the tractor as you can. I don't know if that only adds a couple inches.
It only adds a couple inches.
Yeah.
But it just makes it easier to
Yeah.
disconnect it.
And this tractor is the one that's used with the over-the-rail mower, right?
Well, it's not an over the rail mower, but it's a mower that shifts to the side.
Right.
It just yeah.
And the Kubota was a little small, the current one, right?
Yes.
For the arm.
Yeah.
But so we won't have that problem with the
Right. This is a little bit heavier tractor as far as holding it down to the ground a little better. When you shift the mower all the way to the side, of course, you don't want to go
Okay.
have it on the lower
Yeah, I think I
side.
noticed that I didn't see anything for loaded tires.
Rear.
Okay, it is gonna be loaded?
Yeah. Rear tires. Yeah.
And there's nothing extra for the New Hampshire guy who's way far away delivering it or bringing it down.
No. So I don't know if you know about John Deere dealerships, but they're all being bought up by United Ag and Turf, and there's only a few dealers left, independent people, and he's one of them.
The only thing I just don't like about Deere is they don't make their own motors.
Okay.
Where Kubota does. I mean,
Yeah.
Kubota has its own motor, its own. you
Yeah.
know. John Deere, I mean, if they lose a contract, getting parts might not be so easy.
Right. Yeah.
And what size on John Deere do they shift to American made? Because the smaller ones are made in.
Well, the parts are made all over the place on John Deere. They're not all John Deere parts. So a lot of people that have John Deeres find that, gee, how come I can't get this part for my motor anymore? Because that motor no longer is used by John Deere.
I don't want to say anything about mine, but I love mine, but tomorrow the motor will go and I'll be like.
So, I mean,
Yes, I know. Everyone, there's definitely a
There's pros
a
and
war
cons.
between Kubotas and John Deere. But yes,
now is that chipper blades the mower deck? They're
Go ahead, one-
They're
one-
like teeth.
yeah, they're a flail
Yeah.
mower.
Okay.
Yeah, and we run the wood knives on it because of
Yeah.
or the hammer knives.
To
Because
cut
of,
down trees and brush.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I mean the grass is nice, but really we're trying to keep the brush away from the road.
Right. Let me just see that one.
Yeah, and
Both of these are based on a purchase in July.
yes, I know this person said they had one in stock. I did tell them we have in the past accepted things before July,
Okay.
but they don't get any money until, and I did talk to them about, we have the option of selling the Kubota ourselves. So at some point,
Yeah, because a lot of times when you say that, when it's on the quote and they don't want it, they jack up the price.
Yeah,
more than what you would, because they plan on getting at least 4,000 from the other tractor.
yeah. Between did you have the totals, Rand? It was pretty close between them, right? $1,500 or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the United Ag and Turf with the trade is 60,000, 239.90, and the Brzezinski one with the trade is 61,918.69.
But we're not gonna do
So
the
without the trade, how do they compare?
Well, the one in New Hampshire is cheaper.
Yeah.
It's
by about
1,500.
1,500.
Yeah.
And that's the independent deal, the New Hampshire one?
Yes.
Yeah. You're looking at 71 versus 73.
71.9.
71.9 versus
73.2.
73.2.
So as far as warranty goes, even if we buy it in New Hampshire, Springfield does it. I asked that question also. Just because they're a little further away, and so the extended warranties, he gave a little bit better extended warranty on his. Not many more months, but a few.
Which one, the New Hampshire one?
Yes. Anyone want to look at
Yeah,
these?
look.
So, I guess, yeah, we're not gonna trade, so, or well, unless everyone thinks we should. But if we don't trade, I think we should go with him over there, but. If he's.
Kensington, New Hampshire, I'm not familiar with them. They're close?
No, they are seacoast.
Okay. But they,
Or
but this
they're
is a
close.
delivered price, so,
Yes.
okay. I'm just trying to see if they said anywhere that it was contingent on the trade.
I definitely asked that
Okay,
question.
okay, you did, okay,
Yeah,
you did, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because we did that with the last one ton, and we made, let's just say 10,000 more.
And I did not see anywhere in there, but they didn't put it in the fine print in there, a clause that usually this quote may increase by the time of delivery. A
Okay.
lot of them put that in there on the, maybe there's something on the back of the page that, a lot of them do that. Which is kind of an unexpected, kind of like the fire truck routine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm fortunate that no one's done that to us yet on the highway side. But it's usually certain numbers that we deal with.
Right.
Can I see that one?
Yes, you may.
Okay, so it's the loader and the protection plan that adds the difference on the Springfield one. That's where the difference in price is. Okay.
I mean, they're really close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's relatively
yeah.
close for
And it should
a big
be.
purchase.
Because they're selling the same.
Yeah, is the loader gonna be enough counterweight for the mower down?
Getting
Lower hours on their extended warranty
9
as well.
weights, and they're 75 each.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah,
So,
on the front end?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because we won't run the loader on there when
We
we're
can still
mowing.
read as she
It's
compares
just too much in front of you
warranty
to worry about. Yeah.
Do you ever use extra front hydraulics? Do you have like a grapple bucket or anything?
They asked that question if we only wanted to for the loader. I haven't personally. And we don't have them on anything at the garage.
You don't have a grapple or anything like that?
No.
Where you'd need a third function valve?
Right. I don't believe we're going to need one.
Because that's always gonna need to move,
Yes.
down trees out of the way.
Yeah.
you know.
Right. It's just. Took me quite a while to convince myself we needed a loader. And if it wasn't carrying all that bridge decking in, I probably would.
And how much did we appropriate at town meeting?
We think it's 85 total.
Okay, up
Yeah.
to that, okay.
Up to
That's what I
85.
believe too.
Okay.
Um,
So, as far as actions, does anyone want to make a motion in any direction?
And I'll make a motion for that we look into the James, what is it? Wollstonecraft?
The James, New Hampshire John Deere dealer?
Right.
Yeah, that's,
Anyone want to second that?
That we look into it or accept that?
I think we want to
Just, I guess, accept it
accept,
at this point.
so accept
I'll
it.
second that.
Right, any further discussion on that?
I mean, I think you've got some Kubota fans sitting around the table, so we're struggling a little bit.
I have one Kubota too, so I have a Kubota and a John Deere. So.
So we're not voting on boy bands here.
Yeah. I just bought one for our island. You know, it's I looked at the John Deere, the smaller one, the 30 or the 40 horsepower one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I looked at the John Deere and compared it with a Kubota, and it wasn't even a comparison.
yeah.
All right, so all those in favor of purchasing the John Deere from the James R. dealership in New Hampshire, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against? All right, so be it.
One more thing. I don't know if is it all right to advertise the Kubota, and I was thinking of starting at 22. And
I would use your judgment, since we're on TV, I don't think we want to put our
right.
cards out.
Right. Exactly.
But
I mean,
That sounds low to me.
it doesn't have a loader. That's so that would add another,
5.
yes, exactly.
You know, and
So-
it doesn't have a mower.
Um,
It's just the tractor itself.
Just the tractor.
And I think that's more than reasonable.
60 horse.
Yeah, I think
So
that's more
should
than
we have a
reasonable.
motion to begin the process of selling? Authorizing you to sell, start selling more? Or can we just
We
go?
can just take a consensus even.
Sorry.
Right, all right, so is everybody good with me starting the process of selling the Kubota?
Yeah.
Well, when would we take delivery this July?
2 months.
I would call them and it might be before July. It's just
They're the ones that had it in stock.
yes.
I'm just saying, will there be a gap that you'll need it at any point between, say you got an
July 5th, we usually start mowing,
Okay.
so that would be our next step
Okay.
with it, or around then.
I mean, the Kubota, so, I mean, basically we're giving you the authority to sell it when you think you need to sell it. If you want to hang on to it through, like you say, so there's not a gap, that's up to you.
Okay.
But it might make sense to sell it before something breaks on it.
Ixnay.
Yes, those are the ways I think.
Okay, so we did jump ahead there, that's most of my fault. So the right of way for the town road, I talked to the town attorney for about a half hour yesterday. He came over and picked up all the deeds and documents. So there's just a number of options that he's gonna present on what we can and can't do. The select board will make the decision on what to do with the road, the right of way. Again, layman looking at the maps, that north end of that road, the town does not own.
Mhm.
It's already owned by the town owners. So throwing up the south end of the road, nobody down there cares or is asking for it to be done. So I just don't know what we'll decide to do at some point. But the attorney will give us our options. And for the next meeting, we'll have, let's call it the right-of-way town road discussion. That way, so everybody who's involved can show up. We can give them all the options. They can make their commentary. And then we can figure out what to do. If we're going to throw it up, that requires a whole separate town meeting with comments and postings.
Is there any value to having a preliminary discussion tonight to get a sense of where we stand on it?
We can. we're relying on,
On guesswork.
layman
Yeah.
information.
I guess I'd rather wait to see what the
See what the town attorney
options
says.
are. Yeah.
So next week we'll have the options
Yeah.
from the town attorney. People involved can show up that live over there that might have something to add. And at that point, we can think about it and think about it for a couple weeks before deciding what we're actually going to do, and then follow up from there. So it's just a weird, when the railroad gave the deeds to there's all kinds of stuff. There's 100 years worth of information that kind of has to figure out, is it a right of way? Is it not a right of way?
Right.
Etc. So, but in 2 weeks we'll have, and I'll make sure to notify the folks over there because they do ask, so that they can come to the meeting.
Okay.
What's up with the covered bridge mirror? Can we lock that thing down? It can be bigger than a compact. Apparently it's too small.
Oh, you did get a comment on
I
it?
get a comment that's too small and they can't see.
Who's that? So anyways, we're having a problem with vandalism over there, and they're 200 plus a piece.
Can we put it up higher?
It's like 30 feet in a tree or something, or
Yeah.
on a pole. I did think of that as an option.
Just so that they can't climb up there and take pictures.
It's gotta shine through the bridge.
Right, but you
Right.
can still, it's a convex
Right.
mirror, so you could be able to,
You would be able to go up
How about a
maybe
bridge guard?
15 or 20.
We can
Yeah.
employ somebody as a bridge guard.
Put a cover over it. That makes it hard to steal. I didn't know that's what it was until the email.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Do people keep hitting it? What's going on? I didn't know it was vandalism.
Right.
It's intentional.
They'll take the whole post. Yes. Oh yeah, we've had them take a.
Can we put an air
Well,
tag
I
on
don't
it?
say that on the TV, but
Electrified.
yeah, we talked about even breaking it when they put it up, put a crack in it, and then somebody might not want it.
Oh, you think
They're thinking yours.
Yeah,
Yours
there's
has a crack, right?
to use for
Without a
themselves?
doubt.
Actually,
Okay.
it had a rope tied around it. It's not cracked.
Oh, okay, because they said, "Oh, his is broke. No one wants it."
No, I think if you had a pole that was concreted in the ground and then 15 feet up in the air,
Yeah.
it'd be hard pressed to take it.
Yeah, I mean that is an option. What I did is I took a little convex mirror off the truck and put on there, because they're only $20 a piece, just to try it. It worked for me.
I've never come from the direction that uses the mirror, so
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean it works for me, but I do understand once you're used to that big mirror that, and if people have their headlights on, that little mirror works.
Right.
But I did hear from somebody here in the office that they didn't like it being little. So,
I was really surprised. I bought one of those some years back, as you saw, and I assumed that it's a mirror designed for outdoor exposure. It's made of particle board,
yeah.
Yeah.
and it disintegrated
Right.
over time. So I almost replaced it with
reflective plastic.
a better one that's, it's got a plastic backing that's not gonna
Yeah.
get wet and blossom and fall apart. But I was able to sort of rebuild it, making a backing for it. So,
Yep. Yeah.
but I was surprised.
Yeah, and I didn't replace it right off because I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait 1 month. And then hopefully people will pay attention to it more and maybe they'll catch the person doing it. Yeah, I did, Lori got the calls
Right.
from people who
So I'm
weren't happy.
curious, we've also faced problems with trucks hitting the covered bridge and some hit and runs, I believe, in the past. Is there value or possibility of putting in a security camera? And would we realize any insurance benefit if we had that, and could be more likely to catch a hit and run on the bridge and then have that camera also show the
The mirror.
mirror?
I did check in on that once. I'm trying to think how it worked. They either had to have a box up in the or Wi-Fi, a box up in the bridge that you'd have to climb up in there to check
Yep.
the
To pull out a card.
Yeah.
Also, they have
Yeah.
the ones for
animals and stuff like that,
Game
game
cameras.
cameras.
Right.
That you put on the outside of the bridge, up at the top. And it's gonna get pictures of all of that, and any truck that tries to go under the bridge is
Right.
too big.
Right, it's gonna get
It's gonna get-
So you
3,000
gotta climb
pictures a
up and
day.
take
No,
that
you don't
out.
have
It is
to.
Wi-Fi.
They have the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but we don't have Wi-Fi signal there.
I'd be
That'll slow that
close.
down.
It would, yeah, I'm not quite sure on the, I know over in the parking lot, I can't believe it, but I do. So I'm not sure
I get
about
Wi-Fi
that
down
side.
there, so that's
Oh,
what
you
I was
do?
wondering.
Okay.
With myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way, but I'm not that, up on it as far as like, every car going through is gonna set it off. And if it's on, say, this phone, which, make sense because it's owned by the town.
Or even just one that takes footage, and then we just go back and play the footage. Those are a lot cheaper.
All right.
And then you just go, get a ladder, take it down once a month, and put a new chip in, look at the old chip,
Yeah,
if there's any damages,
right.
I mean, I think, one of the considerations is would our insurance give us a better price if we had a security camera? Because that might
I
pay
don't know.
for the cost of it. And there are different plans, there's some plans that, maintain more recorded video.
Yeah.
So,
But the only thing I don't know what it's, as far as a town, what our liability is, or, if we are allowed to take footage of people.
Right, that
In
was
a
my
vehicle.
question, I don't know if the laws
Is
are.
it violation of their, Privacy Act? We'd have to find that out too.
You've had a camera, at least you had a warning about cameras when you had the dumpsters up at the town.
Right, that was just,
Just
that
a
was
sign.
something, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the only camera we bought was down for the gravel pit, at one point.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we can look into to see if there's, any kind of
Right,
legal.
I can look into it again.
Mhm.
I do think climbing up in the bridge, and I think it's gonna, with the amount of traffic that goes through there, I think it's gonna fill up quick.
Mhm.
The only one, if we're filming somebody's land, maybe they have a problem and we'd have to notify Jennifer Jerome about, filming that part of her property.
She owns down to the bridge there.
Yes.
What about the bridge up in, is it not Townsend, Newfane?
Yeah.
That Newfane bridge, do they have troubles with theirs? Do you know?
People hitting it, yes.
I wonder what they're doing.
Bigger signs, yes.
Well, we could always put up a PVC pipe before, so that they have to go through the PVC pipe first, and if they hit that, then they know they're gonna hit the bridge.
They have, right, different swinging things.
Right.
A couple of the people who've hit it have been going like 25 when they enter it, so
Mm-hmm.
they
Do
might
they
be,
tend to hit one side or the other?
yeah, this side.
This side.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Well, that's because
They don't want to turn around.
once they get down there, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah,
I mean, on 30, if you pull up, you're like, oh, I can't make it under that. I mean,
yeah,
they figure they're gonna scrape through then.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the camera or the mirror specifically.
Yep.
But the other thing we could do with the mirror is, like I said, put it up higher, but you could also put an alarm on it. Where, if anybody tampers with it, it's gonna pull off on an alarm.
yeah.
And it might just frighten them away, it may not do anything, but it's just a simple little, 9-volt battery screecher. Like a boat horn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen them.
Yeah.
You
Who
know, it
knows,
might
maybe
be.
we
I have one on
maybe
my
we
boat,
put one
that's
in
what
with just noise,
Okay.
maybe we put one in that is traced, who knows?
Right, nobody knows.
You know?
So,
Well, they do now. with
No, I
the
mean,
recorder.
who knows?
Yeah, they have GPSs. Dang, put it in the camera.
so it's a secret.
Yes, so, as far as higher, I mean, that option is there. Is 15 feet gonna do it? I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be more difficult to get a ladder out of your truck and then climb up
Right.
15 foot,
Right. I think
You're
it's,
more likely to be spotted by somebody.
yeah, I think it's gonna be stones or sticks or something going at it at that point. But I'm not sure.
Well, then it'll have its crack in it. so-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we can try something like that. Not 100% sure how Well, I think maybe next week we should be able to, because we have another one in stock, it's just a matter of,
Getting that up.
yeah.
Why don't you take a look at it,
Okay.
do what you think's best. See how long it's
Try
gonna last.
something.
To do it a little higher,
Yep,
we can bury the post a little
Yeah.
bit.
we usually make it so they get their hands dirty anyways.
Right, we could grease the post.
Yep.
Raise your wire.
Yeah, we'll put some razor wire up in the that'll slow people down.
Electricity to it.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Lee.
Alright.
Anything else in the,
Yeah, I just said, we did get our sand pretty much done. We used approximately 2,000 yards, which is about half of what we normally do in the winter.
yes.
We should be getting the excavator and starting our grant and aid ditching project, not next week, but the following. So we'll be working on that.
Assuming that winter maintenance is over, and that's not a certainty, but hopefully, how did
Change
we
my
do
time zone.
on the winter labor? I know we debated that during budgeting.
Yeah, I think on labor, as far as hours go,
Yeah.
I think we're good. Or, well, I think it was pretty low,
Yeah, it seems-
if I was gonna guess. That was good. Salt, I haven't filled the salt shed yet, but that's coming up. And I think it's gonna be probably 2/3, if I was gonna guess. Maybe 3/4 of a season for salt. Yeah, we took and put the summer tires on the dump trucks, cause we don't like wearing out the studs, and
Right,
then 3 storms later.
yeah. We need a new dump truck.
Yeah. But
Any other questions for Lee? Lee, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, what's the schedule on decking for the covered bridge?
well, I just found out when I'm going on vacation in the summer, so that's kind of where I was finding out when everyone's going to take their time
Okay.
and trying to schedule. I mean, I just assume do it early in the summer vacation because I just want it done. But if I was going to guess, I would say the middle of July.
How long does it take?
We're planning on a week, closing it for a week, and I'm hoping it's gonna be, we're gonna do a lot of prep work ourselves, like the week before, like take out every other screw. So it'll go quicker.
So for a while,
that
it's a little rickety.
Yeah.
So the reason I ask is, there's a RFP out to do the steps on the covered bridge, and I'm wondering if we could figure out if the covered bridge is gonna be closed, or if they're gonna be in there with equipment or whatever, if we could coordinate to have it all done the same week. So it's
Do
just,
they need the bridge?
I don't think so. I just thought since there's gonna be equipment and stuff, having it
Yeah,
done all at
they
once.
need the parking lot.
We might need a portion of it, because we got 2,500 holes to drill in,
Right.
deck boards and, yeah, we got it.
And people might not wanna be,
And we're gonna have,
going down to the river where there's construction, 25,000 bolts over their head.
right,
So I was just figuring
yeah,
we could do this, but that's all pending on when the work can get done.
yeah.
So
So I guess once you find out their date,
yeah, make your plan,
It would
and
be-
I'll have them ask
okay.
if they have some idea.
So we're gonna schedule it with a contractor, with Stan Jenks. So he's gonna hopefully put all 5 of his guys on it. We'll have 4, 5, 3, whatever we can do. And so hopefully it will be shorter, but I just, depending on how hard it is or how things go.
And what's the rating difference between the weight rating for the green iron bridge versus the covered bridge?
20,000 for the green iron bridge, and it's only 24 for the covered bridge, but we have an exemption there.
For the fire
and-
trucks?
Right, and the green iron bridge we don't.
So is that what has this done? I haven't been here. So when this is done, do people use the Green Iron Bridge?
Cars.
Cars do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not even good to advertise that as far as people on Route 30. Oh, yeah. Delete that. No, so then, because there's gonna be a bunch of local traffic, a bunch of people coming from this side. And the same thing is once you're over here, you're kinda committed. So it's, that intersection of Quarry Road and, East-West Road can be kind of,
So I assume you need to communicate with the fire department
Yeah.
to
yeah, fire department, post
move
office.
the truck up
Is a
to the
few. Yes.
center.
And I think it will go pretty good.
When was the last time it was redact?
Like 13 to 14
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
And did Mike Renaud do that?
Yes,
properly?
yes, that was the first time it was done. They actually, I don't know, like a milling machine, what we use on the roads, they put one of those right in there. And
Really?
they mill it right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see it.
Bolts and all?
See, before it didn't have the deck boards.
Okay.
It was just a flat, like 2x on edge. And then, so they milled out the, yeah.
Alright. Good.
Alright, and then I'll wait around for the cemetery.
Yep, we'll get there here pretty quick.
Alright.
Thanks. So correspondence for information. There's a message sent, I think, with everybody. I'm gonna attend the BDCC Southern Vermont Economic Summit, I think, it's on the calendar. I filled out a survey for that. Pass on the information for that. Any questions on any of those other items on there? All right. Correspondence for discussion. Meeting posting bulletin board requirements over in West Village. What you got, Paul?
I basically repaired it. The bottom one is, the frame was heavily bent,
Okay.
and I had used some liquid steel, or what do they call it?
Whatever that guy sells on TV for boats.
No,
Okay.
this is a liquid weld,
Alright. So Roger's aware, he's got a good board now.
JP, you know,
Make a note to send a thank you note to Paul Adler.
and I had to buy plastic, the clear plastic sheets.
Those are a little expensive
Yeah, they are. It was like $30.03.
for reimbursement for that.
I would think you could submit that.
Yes.
Yeah, submit that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Plexi's expensive.
Other than that, went together pretty easily.
Yeah, submit that. And we'll
Yeah.
Yeah, reading the paper, we need to be careful, making sure we post things at
Yeah.
the required minimum. I forget what town it is dealing with people complaining that it was only posted 2 places instead of 3.
Yeah, I know Roger definitely gets all his stuff out. So
Yeah.
having it fixed. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Anything sheriff didn't arrest you for asking more questions? Any updates?
No, that's pretty much it for the bulletin board.
Right.
The sheriff, I got in touch with him, and it was quite interesting. And he had to go back quite a bit, because I wanted to know more than just the simple questions. I wanted to know what yearly expenditures we had on that. Let me just grab it. 2020, 2021 was 15,000
Of tickets?
tickets.
So what did the year run July to July? Same as us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the 21 to 22 was 19,261. 22 to 23, it was 5,554. The hotspots that they're catching most of the people on, East-West Road, right out here at the stoplight.
Yep.
And then West Street, which is 30.
Yeah. In the village over there.
And by the ticketing, it's not just the numbers, it's the speed that they're going.
Right.
That they're exceeding the speed limit well over 20 miles an hour
Right.
over the speed limit. So we have a speeding problem.
Yeah. I have no question. I get my mail.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Yeah. So
That's actually Route 30. is what they're talking about, where they're getting those.
The Route 30 is supposed to in the
That's
village.
called, what do they call it, West River Road?
West River.
West River Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought they'd probably be hitting Route 30.
So
Yeah,
it's not West Street in the
Right.
village.
Correct.
It's
no,
30.
yeah.
So it's speeding on Route 30 and speeding on East West Road.
East-west road was worse than 30.
Right.
East-west road, then 30, and then a stoplight here.
Right.
And he's basically said they also just totally ignore the 24 mile an hour or 25 mile an hour speed limit here.
Yeah, 'cause it does.
They just totally ignore it.
They being.
Drivers.
People.
Oh, yeah, I
Drivers.
know. Yeah, I mean, it obviously goes from 35 to 25 as I get to the town center.
Yeah.
East West Road's the same way, right?
They
It
just
doesn't
don't,
open
they
up.
don't pay attention to the 25 at all.
Right.
Um,
All right.
so,
Something to mull.
yeah, I think we should possibly consider, I don't know what our percentage of that is, those tickets
We
that
get-
they write.
Yeah, we get some percentage of it.
I don't know, like 80% or something. Isn't it?
It's a good chance.
Quite big.
We might wanna consider, adding more hours to, sheriff's
We
department.
do get feedback from
Instead of-
residents that are
Yeah.
speeding.
Yeah, I get it all the
Also
time.
deterrent signs too, we could do.
Right.
Maybe bigger 25 mile an hour speed limit signs.
Yeah.
And it is a
If
little.
we're gonna talk about cameras, maybe speed cameras,
No, it's, we know they'll
We
steal.
send them a ticket now.
Right.
And that way we don't even need the sheriff.
There was a town I drove through, like one of the unincorporated towns in Maine this weekend, and they just had an old cop car on the side of the road with a mannequin in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
It's one of those towns with no people.
Mm.
But deterrents could also
Yeah,
do
but,
something.
it's, speed bumps also help.
So,
They're not
Temporary speed
popular
bumps.
with the
No,
highway department.
no, I'm just saying temporary speed bumps, where they're plastic and you just pull them across the road.
so,
You clamp them. Yeah, they do.
so basically and that's why I was thinking a little bit, if Route 30 was generating tickets, it's second on our list. When you look at our numbers, that's why the numbers are gonna be higher, right? Because Putney doesn't have Route 30, right? And Route 30 is an easy spot to go out there. What, is it 50 on Route 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've probably been speeding down the road too. And so that does give a little insight into if half the tickets are coming out on Route 30 or a third of them.
Yeah, I mean, he just mentioned east-west was
Yeah, east-west is sure, I'm certainly the biggest.
because it's a cut through.
Right.
Well, it's also, if it's after the paving, I've noticed myself going a good amount faster on it because you don't notice it now because it's so smooth.
Yeah.
So that could have been why it went up in Route 30.
So we should blame it on Lee then.
Quality
Not to
highway.
pave the roads.
I mean, from the town center to the bridge is
We'll
nice.
save
Now.
money.
I mean, it is smooth.
Yeah.
But, man, it's too curvy for me. I drive like an old man. So, all right, let's.
I mean, does anybody have any more information that I can get for them?
I don't think so. I think it's something that, as far as more.
So we would discuss whether we want to add hours during the next budget cycle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. So at the end of this year, when we start doing budget cycles, let's, take into consideration how much more it would cost for additional patrolling. I mean, the question becomes,
What would it pay for itself?
would it pay for us? So how much, if, it's hard to know, like how much of a reduction in speeding you're going to get by more patrols, right? I mean, because it really is just like, it's a math problem. It's like the story of the two
it's a-
people going
it's
up
a
and down the
balance.
mountain.
Yeah,
People who are speed who don't encounter them during the patrol time,
yeah,
I can yell at them all I want,
right.
they're not here. So I think during the next budget, if we want to budget for more hours, we should consider that and just present to everybody, this is how much it costs. Here's the last 3 years of money we've made from patrolling. This is how much we've been paying for it. And this is how much we'll pay for it this year and how much we think we get back.
Right.
And do people want more patrols? I don't know what other solution there is. I don't think we want to do speed cameras or speed humps. And I'm not sure more patrols will stop the speeders, but it's an option. We'll see.
Well, it might make them think, that's all.
Yeah, it might make them think, yeah. I think the only thing that makes me think is I either see them, and I'm not speeding anyway, or if I see them sitting there, right? But if you're somebody who works or travels the roads in the afternoon, evening, you're never going to see the sheriff out, right? It's only during daylight hours, generally speaking. So you probably hear it down there on that turn because you have that flat run from 5. and I noticed people do like 50 until they hit that corner at your house. I've had people pass me, like, really? So, all right, we'll add, it'll be definitely a budget discussion. We'll put together a package to discuss it. All right, appointments, open seats, I don't think we have any for now. Next meeting, we'll try to get Ron and Bill here. I will do that. See if those times work for them. Do we need to do something fancy for the next one? For the renewal or not?
Campfires, liquor license.
Is that what's next? All right, so I'll make a motion that we recess the meeting and convene as a liquor control board.
Second that.
All right. So as the liquor board.
Yep.
Do you have the text? I should have brought it out.
Would you take a vote?
Oh, no. All those who would like to convene as liquor board say aye. Aye. Good point. So he's like, I don't want to do it.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the second class liquor license renewal for Campfires LLC.
Second that.
Any discussion? I'm just going to ask real quick. Is the second class license that people can have events there? Do they sell liquor there?
They do
Yes,
sell
they
like
do.
beer?
Yes.
Beer and wine?
Yeah.
Okay, in the store. Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of renewing the Campfires LLC second class liquor license, say aye.
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 So I'll make a motion that we adjourn as liquor control board and reconvene the meeting.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Okay.
Aye. Did we have to convene?
Nope.
Okay. All right, we're back. Unfinished business. I did not get with Chris on investing the funds, but I will do that this week. We'll have him, I know initially he's very tentative about doing
How
that.
about the items we added?
Oh,
New
2
business.
items we added. Gosh darn it. All right, so we have New Vermont alert approval procedure. That was passed to us from Rich, the new emergency management director. Did everybody read it in the, in that case? Because 2 of these things are gonna come up. I think it's the one on top, the date is a little, I think he forgot to change the date.
Yeah.
We'll have him change that.
I'll make a motion that we approve setting up a Vermont alert plan.
I'll second. Any discussion?
Yeah, the only discussion I would have is, the emergency plan is great as long as we have power. We lose power in this town, there is no emergency plan. Like all goes out the window because we have no cell reception.
Yep. That's a good point.
And there's no way to communicate.
We've got backup generators.
It doesn't help cell phones though.
Right.
Through
If
residents,
the cell's down,
you know,
the
if
cell's-
the electricity's gone, we get no cell phone.
yeah, that's interesting. I'm trying to think when my power's out. When my power's out, I still have cell.
I'd still get
But I'm in the
some
middle of
because I
town.
have to use a hotspot to
Right.
get internet.
No,
Through
we don't even
cell.
get that. We get nothing.
Because you're out on,
on Mountain Camp.
It might depend on your service. When I first lived, because I'm
Well,
pretty
we've
close
had
to you.
Verizon and we've had AT&T.
Okay, because I had other stuff and I got nothing for years until I went to AT&T. Now I'm fine. I'm kind of close to you. So, but if you have AT&T and it's not working, I don't
No,
know.
that's what we have.
Okay.
I wonder what the map looks like of the town. If I find out, just for fun. It'd be interesting to know what the cell coverage map looks like.
Mm.
I'm sure you've looked at it because you probably wanted your phone to work.
Yeah, I was wondering if you should put one up in my field.
Well, talk to the regional commission, maybe I'll find someone to do it.
We're on top of Black.
So you have no emergency plan as it is.
Right.
Because you don't have cell service.
Yeah, we can't even call an ambulance if we need it.
All right, so all those in favor of adopting the alert plan, say aye.
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 I think you could call an ambulance. If you call 911, that uses all the networks.
I
Oh,
never
yeah,
tried
they
it.
say SOS only.
Yeah,
at the top.
SOS on
Yeah,
your
I
Think
phone.
about that.
I'll have to try it sometime just to test it out.
I don't know if they like doing that, but.
So we also need to approve the local emergency management plan that Rich also forwarded. That's in the same folder.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the local emergency management plan.
I'll second. Discussion? All right, all those in favor of adopting the local emergency management plan, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The third new item that we added, so the cemetery committee, so apparently we use NIMRIC, the New England Regional, they supply all of our applications we use for town business, is my understanding.
Yes.
And they have an application that will do cemetery work and a database and access and all that kind of stuff. And the cemetery committee would like to add that to our package. It's $300 a year. Is that right?
No, $300 for their initial,
Okay.
then the town office staff would enter all the data.
And then after that, we're just, is it a year, is there a fee after that, or it's just become part of our
No.
NIMRIC contract?
Yeah, part of it.
Okay.
No,
And
it gets upgraded with the other software.
yes.
When they have updates.
Yes, that's.
So
So basically, we're paying $300 to get in the door, and then we'll get all the updates. Our data will be there.
There's also one person on the cemetery committee now who sounds like she would not mind entering the data too.
That
So,
might be.
yeah, I don't know.
Cemetery committee's you and that person.
Yes.
Process
Well, I
one.
hear that person types really, really fast.
Yes.
But is it
Really
accurate?
fast. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
several books.
Could I just get clarity on what the software does? I'm not really following. Is it just a database software?
Yeah, so right now, all the information on all the cemeteries on little index cards. So if somebody called in and asked, where this person is buried, Lori has to look through all these index cards to try to find. So all this information will be on the database.
Okay.
So it'll be easier to access
And how can people access it online? Or-
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't dare to
Too
say.
much with the software.
I would
So
assume
the-
it would only be members of the cemetery committee
Right, and it's
that would
only on that
access it.
software
Right.
system.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think this would be something that would be open to the general public.
I know.
So it's $300 or under $300 for the initial setup.
and those are funds that are in the cemetery committee fund. So we're just allocating them. So if anyone wants to make a motion, I'll make a motion that we approve the $300, up to $300.
I'll second
Any more discussion on that? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you for the reminder. I wrote 1, 2, 3 right here. Should be a bigger arrow. I already talked a little bit at the farmland protection money plus other funds. For Salmon, Brook, Erosion, we submitted, Chris signed a new document that included the additional 25% that the homeowner was going to have to pay that they now won't have to pay. They went from 75 to 100. So we've got the new funding number. So the next thing, which I'm spending some time on, is we need to get the RFP out for engineering work. We don't have a lot of experience. I asked Lori. I know you've done RFPs, right? But those are town letterhead ones, right? That's the town doing stuff. Since this is a USDA program, I'm going to guess there's a lot of forms that I can fill out to send out or request proposals using federal funds. I will contact the state. I need help from him doing it. If it seems too much and I'm too busy, if anybody else has time and would be interested in helping, possibly, former government employee, I might contact you.
it. Okay.
So if you want to get that out so we can get the engineering done and then follow that up with an RFP to do the work.
I definitely think on that, I did talk to Scott Jensen, the river, because I brought him down there and showed him it. He definitely sounded like, he could figure something out too with Megan. And he definitely listed contractors.
Yep.
He really wanted to talk to you or Megan about what information you got about contractors.
Yep. I'll find out. I'll add him to my list. Corey Ross, who's also with the Wyndham River, also does a lot of grants.
Okay.
And he said he would help too.
All right.
So I'll try to get everybody together at once. So we
Yeah.
kind of just muscle through this first one. 'Cause I think once we do the RFP for engineering, the RFP for the work will be very similar. It'll just be for the work.
Yeah, I know somebody that does a lot of grant work. She's on your cemetery.
I was saying not volunteering.
That's what she does for a living.
Wow. Well, there
Oh,
you
is that
go.
right? Oh, nice.
So you know, we may ask for help. So that, but we need to get that done because obviously I want to get them to be able to get the work done this summer and have it settled. So, any
So-
other? Go ahead.
Is that's only for the one project.
When I asked him about the other ones, he said they weren't approved within the 6-day period before they'd gone to the 100%, so they're not eligible.
Okay.
I'll double check them again though, because I found that a little weird.
Yeah.
Because the total amount of money they've given us was for the 2 projects, and that's still the total amount of money that's in there. I'm like, I'm not asking for more money. We're just asking to execute the money we say we already have. But he seemed to be fairly clear. He's like, no, because that wasn't part of the list.
Okay.
When it came out. But I'll double check with him one more time. I have a long conversation with him. He's very helpful. He's just busy. So, any other business?
Something that one of my neighbors has brought up, and I thought it was, the idea had quite a bit of merit, is to put a plaque near the covered bridge that basically, it's like a barcode or a reader that you use with your phone, and it basically can give the history of the covered bridge. Seeing that we're beautifying the whole area there from underneath, we get a lot of visitors from out of town. Donations can be accepted.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Well, they're
Covered
gonna. I
bridge
think when
front.
they finish the covered bridge steps and do the garden at the top, they're gonna put in one of the little library boxes for the Conservation Commission. They'll have maps and books and various other things. That's something they should add.
right,
To something
just
sort
as
of-
something, you know, if people want to drive in, they go swimming, they'd like to give a donation. Here's, you know,
a good
it
idea.
would be helpful.
Yeah, I keep meaning to bring that up. Len.
Yes,
helped me
yes, I
with
talked to
that.
Len about that.
Just the two?
Should just be
Okay.
two.
Yeah.
Yep, just the 2. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
That goes in.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll add that. So that's a very good idea. And when I was down there checking it out not long ago, there was 2 people from Chicago. Like, hey, everybody told us to come here. So.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
So be it.